Hello.
No.
In today's video, I would like to talk about what it was like to find out that Craig had autism. I wanted to talk about this subject because I feel like it's something that a lot of parents can relate to, and it was likely a hard time for you as well as it was for us, for me anyway.
It was for both of us.
I showed it more though, I'm just more emotional. But after Craig turned 2 and he wasn't saying very many words, but most of all, he wasn't responding to commands or really anything that we said, and his words weren't used to communicate, I started to get a sinking feeling. And I covertly went to the public library. And started looking at books on childhood disabilities. I didn't want anyone to know that I was looking at those because I felt like in a way I was betraying Craig and being unfair to him and even thinking that. So secretly I went and I looked at the books, and specifically I looked for disabilities that included lack of communication. And the word autism kept coming up over and over. It was really the only thing that matched. But other things didn't match. I mean, Craig didn't sit at home all day and line up cars or build block towers.
Or the classic, there was a movie, I can't remember what it was, when we were
It was in child
adults.
development.
Yeah, where they would spin
the plates.
The plates. And
he didn't really fixate on anything.
Right. Nothing very specific.
No.
Like time and time again.
Right.
But he was to where he could be on the floor and he could be doing something. And you, at that time, you know, if you even raising your voice or something, you can get a child to turn and look. Mm-hmm. Well, you could walk right up behind Craig, just right behind him, and just go, Craig, you know, really loud, right behind his head, and he wouldn't make any response.
Mm-hmm. Exactly.
So that's why they end up sending him to a hearing specialist.
Right.
Is
that
where
was
we
our
ended up
first
going.
Step. When I was looking at the descriptions of autism, it also said that they were not affectionate and they treated people like furniture. And Craig has always been affectionate.
Craig's been a hugger forever.
He was our cuddly little boy. How could he have autism?
Yeah.
Especially
Smiled,
in the way that they described it.
Yeah.
So in order, at that time anyway, to be diagnosed with autism, you had to match so many of the criteria. And Craig did match several of them. He did flap. He flapped his arms. But really, we didn't think of it didn't seem like he was just doing that. I mean, I realize now that autism manifests. Like what you see when they're a small child is not necessarily the way they're going to be when they get older. And sometimes it gets worse, sometimes it gets better. Well, Craig flapped his hands sometimes, but it was just it seemed to us like when he was excited, and he would make this ee sound, which he still makes today.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I know there was like 3 or 4 that fit Craig. So.
Yeah, the not paying any attention to voice commands or anything like that.
Mm-hmm.
You couldn't startle Craig.
Right. And you couldn't get him to, if you said sit down or come here, it was like you were deaf. So like Joe said, in talking to our family doctor, who didn't think that Craig could have autism because he didn't fit the mold that you read in the textbooks back then, he referred us to a speech pathologist because we couldn't get a regular hearing test on Craig. At that time, the hearing test involved wearing headphones, and Craig wouldn't tolerate that. So we took him to a speech pathologist, and they first tested his hearing. And how they did it was I remember there was almost like a window front, and they had monkeys and different things in there, and they would clap cymbals, and they watched to see if Craig turned toward the noise, and he did. So we knew he wasn't deaf. At the speech pathologist, she spent 10 minutes with Craig and diagnosed him with autism, which we both thought was unfair. Like, how can she know in 10 minutes? But in reading over things, then on the car ride home, I think we both came to the realization that Craig had autism.
Yeah, that was the longest drive I'd ever made from Des Moines back down to Knoxville, where we lived at that time. That was a long drive. It was quiet for a while, very quiet. Neither of us really knew what to say to the other one.
Well, you know, when you go home, you're going to have to tell your family.
Yep.
And that wasn't easy. But actually, I feel like some of them already suspected something was different about Craig. I don't know if they suspected autism because it just wasn't well known back then.
It was
It was
hardly
like
known at all.
One
really.
in 100,000 children were born with autism when
We're diagnosed. Yeah.
Yeah, we're diagnosed.
Yeah, there was probably a lot that were born
Oh,
that
yeah.
didn't get
When I
diagnosed.
look
got
back-
misdiagnosed later.
Sure. I think everybody was just kind of lumped into cognitive disabilities back then.
Right.
Like they didn't put a name on it. It was all generalized. When I look at the special education class when we were in school, it was maybe we just didn't know, but it seemed like it was just a general cognitive disabilities class, or maybe they had trouble with certain subjects. And I think of a man now, well, he would have been, he passed away several years ago, but we had a boy in our class that everyone just thought he was weird. And he had older parents, so he definitely didn't dress with the styles that everyone else did. But he was very, very smart, like a genius. He always won the spelling bees. And when we got to like high school, we realized that he could listen to a song once and he could play it beautifully. But I never thought about him having autism because we didn't know anything about it back then and no one talked about it. But looking back, I'm 100% sure he had high functioning autism.
Oh yeah, he did.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. And sadly, I don't think a lot of people took time to get to know him. But so we found out Craig had autism, and I had a lot of, even in the process of finding out, I just had so many fears about what our life was going to be like and how was it going to affect Stephanie, and was Craig going to have any friends, and would he be invited to birthday parties? It's just, actually, it was almost like a mourning period. It's, to me, finding out your child has autism or maybe any disability is like the loss of a dream. It's not what you ever pictured for your child or your life. So I went through a time where I did have a really hard time, and luckily I didn't have what my parents would call a nervous breakdown, but I did spend a lot of time worrying and crying and not sleeping.
Sometimes we just hold him. You just hold him.
Mm-hmm. And Joe did. I remember one time I was just so worried about it, and I remember Joe saying to me, no matter what happens, he's still Craig. It doesn't change that. He's still our son. He's still the same little boy. Just because he has a diagnosis.
Right at that moment, he is Craig. And that's all you could ask for.
Mm-hmm. Exactly. So after, and also Joe said to me, just remember, God is not going to give us anything that we can't handle. And
I actually found out later that statement's not
right. That's
true.
not actually
It's not that God doesn't give you anything you can't handle. It's that God will not give you anything that you can't handle alone. I mean, that you can. I'm saying that wrong.
You can't handle with His help.
Yeah, that you need God. You know, and we still do. We have had a strong faith, strong Christian friends.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people.
We had a village of people that really helped us. Our best friends were so wonderful. They asked to take Stephanie and Craig. I mean, from the time Stephanie was born, they had her at least once a week. They just loved having Stephanie, and they had 2 boys that were maybe 5 and I don't know, they weren't very old, but they were old enough they weren't babies anymore, and they loved taking Stephanie. And then when we had Craig, they took Craig too.
Yep.
And
Unconditional.
yep, even after his diagnosis, they still wanted to take Craig. And I don't know what we would have done without them and our parents, because our parents were really wonderful too. I feel like we never felt like we needed a break, because we always had people wanting to take the kids. And Stephanie was wonderful with Craig. She's always been the most wonderful big sister. When he was born, maybe she loved him a little too much.
She was rough with him.
Yeah, but she made Craig do everything she did. I feel like Stephanie didn't really give him a chance to not be affectionate and involved, because whether he wanted to or not, he was going to play with her and do what she wanted him to do.
Yeah, with the friends we had and family, it was, I mean, we had respite care before anybody even knew what that term meant.
Yeah,
I mean, as far as I didn't know.
right. I
And,
didn't.
Yeah.
I'd never heard of it
So
either.
we got breathers. I mean, it's not like, we were trying to drop our children off, and get away from them.
Right.
But it was nice sometimes just to go grocery shopping.
Yep. Because
and then-
otherwise we did everything we would.
Yep.
Joe would stay home with the
Yep.
kids, and I
Yep.
would go
all the time. Yep.
to the store, or even Stephanie's things at school. Joe would stay home with Craig, and I would go to the event, or vice versa.
Yep, film it so the other could see. And the great thing was Stephanie had grown up with it. She was used to that. Just having one parent to some of that stuff
Right.
didn't mean anything different to her.
And the funny thing was, when we told Stephanie that Craig had autism, she was like proud of it. She would, anyone that would come up, she would come up on, she would tell them that her brother had autism, and that it just meant that he might not talk to you. And she was just like his mother from the beginning. And she was with Bennett too. She's just a motherly person. So, but I don't want you to think finding out was hard, but having a child with autism has been wonderful. I mean, I talk about meltdowns, but we don't focus on that, and they don't happen every day. It's just something that I feel like we need to talk about to help each other out, because I think it's great to get ideas from other people and see what works for them. And
It's nice to see how this has turned into such a community for it.
Yeah, I really love it. I'm just so thankful for all the people that comment and share and send me emails. And I hope that it continues. And I hope that this can help many other parents. And I just want you to know that you're not alone if it's really hard for you when you find out that your child has autism. But it's not a bad thing. I feel like God really blessed us by giving us Craig. There's a song, is it Bruce Carroll, that sometimes miracles hide. And I always felt that way about Craig, that they had a child. Apparently, the song was about parents that had a child that had a disability. And in the end, they realized that sometimes miracles hide, and God gives you things that are blessings, and you don't even realize it at first. And that's definitely the way it's been for us with Craig. He has brought our family so much joy. And anyone who gives Craig a chance and gets to know him also benefits from knowing Craig.
Yeah. Now, the subject matter, now, let me speak to the dads out there. That first time when you find out, that is so tough. It's beyond tough. I mean, you always hear people talk about when somebody, they almost died, they just saw their life flash before them. Well, as a dad of a son, I saw his life just completely change from what I thought it was going to be. It's tough.
Yeah, that was the toughest part.
But you don't know. I mean, if God closes a door, he opens a window. Well, a lot of times with a child with special needs, your whole house becomes windows. There's every opportunity that you don't get, there's an opportunity in a different way.
I knew this was going to be a hard one, but I just felt it was important to talk about.
Oh yeah.
I don't know if I have anything more to
I
add.
think I'm done.
Okay.
I'll think of something after.
Right.
Once
I'm
you turn
sure
it
I'll,
off, but
yes, that's how it always is. After I'm done with the video or when I read the comments, I think of things that I wish I would have said, but I can address that in another video if I think of it. So with that, we will go to the next portion of our video where Craig and I, we went to a garage sale this morning, had some fun. Went to Marshall's and Dollartree for a little bit, and then this afternoon when Stephanie came to pick up the girls, we had some pizza, and Craig and Stephanie did a little taste test of some wrapper popcorn that we bought at Emmitsburg when we were on our last road trip. And they talked about Veggie Tales, which is quite funny. I love the Veggie Tale memories in our family. Like, all our kids really loved it. And
where's my hairbrush?
yeah, if you know, you know.
You know, you know.
And then Craig reads Where the Wild Things Are tonight. So I hope you'll stay tuned and watch the rest of the video. And we will see you tomorrow, hopefully celebrating 60,000 subscribers. Last time I looked, we were only 15 subscribers away. And thank you all so very much.
Later.
Every morning when the girls are here, Papa and Libby have to spend some time sitting outside talking about the birds. Libby's learning a lot about the birds. Good morning, Craig.
Morning, Mama.
What would you like to do today?
Chillaxing.
Well, I need to go to, there's a garage sale. Do you want to go with me?
No, thank you.
It had lots of kids stuff.
Yeah,
And we also need to go to the post office, I think.
right.
Do you want to go with me?
Yeah.
Okay. You got to get dressed, okay?
I need a shower.
Oh, okay. You take your shower. Stephanie alerted us to another garage sale, so we're about to check it out. It's supposed to have lots of things for kids. Good morning. This is a cute little slide, but too small for Libby and Josie. Oh, here's the puzzles that Stephanie wanted. And Craig's found some books. These are really cool looking. It's a nice suitcase. Thought we'd stop in and see what Marshall's had to offer today. We didn't get out much yesterday, so I need to take Craig out to do a few things today. I'll give you a little look at the purses available at Marshall's here. Sometimes they have some really cute ones. And name brand like Michael Kors, and I've seen Vera Bradley. I don't really know that that's that popular anymore.
Weird.
Calvin Klein. What do you think of this? I think it's a very specific taste. It gives me the hippie vibe. Kind of liking this bag to take to the parks with me. I like this feature that it has a built-in place for cards right in the front. If you could pick out something for me from this shelf, what would it be?
This one.
Dang. Okay. It never works. Show you some of the things I have on clearance. These fish plates are cute. They're just plastic. $4.50 on clearance. They usually don't really mark down their clearance items that much. Do need some more hangers. And these are my favorite kind. Things don't slip off of them. Joe hates them for that very same reason. He says they're hard to get shirts off of. This is always one of my favorite sections to look at.
Oh, wow.
There's a lot of fun things. You can buy this wort pan for $4. Find any good ones, Craig?
I smell the candles.
What's that one?
Ice peach tea.
Did it smell good?
Yeah. Here's one.
Whispering.
Camping trip. Camping trip.
That one's okay. Let's see, what does it smell like, Craig?
Trip.
Let me.
Camping trip.
Can I smell it? No, I don't like that. Doesn't smell like a camping trip. I don't even know what that smelled like. I would think a camping trip would have some smoky smell or something. Did you find, Craig?
Most much.
Yeah, that is one of your favorites, isn't it?
Yep.
This is one of my favorite things they have here. They're really good. They're nice and soft. And a little stop at Dollartree before we go home. This one looks more well stocked than the last one that we went to. Let's see where Craig went to. I don't know where he's at. You find a little ball? So what I actually came here for is this brand of licorice in cinnamon, because they've had it at Dollar Tree before, but today apparently they're out of that flavor. We have a question from a viewer named Bug, and she would like to know, which one is your favorite Webkins?
The Whimsy Dragon.
Can you get it out and show it?
Dennis. Hey, Dennis. You called? This is the Whimsy Dragon.
When did we get the Whimsy Dragon?
From 2011.
Do you know where we got it at?
On my birthday.
Oh, you got it for your birthday. Is there any Webkins that you don't have that you'd really like to have?
Well, there's a Splashy Dragon.
That's the one. That's what you'd like to have?
Yeah.
I didn't even know that. I didn't even know there was a Splashy Dragon.
Yeah, he's more like a seahorse.
Oh. Well, thank you so much for your question, Bug. And we hope you see this video. This question is, who is your favorite Sesame Street character?
Why, Big Bird. He's yellow, he's tall, he's a friend of Snuffy.
Have you ever been to Sesame Place in California or Pennsylvania?
California.
We haven't been to Sesame. We've been to California, but not Sesame Place. We did go to the Sesame Street land in SeaWorld, didn't we?
Yep.
And that was pretty cool.
Yep.
If you haven't seen that one, you should check it out too. We'll have to look up Sesame Place and see what it's like, right?
Right.
Can you sing us a little of the Sesame Street song?
Sunny day, sweeping the clouds away. On my way to where the air is sweet. Can you tell me how to get to Sesame Street?
What's for dinner, Craig?
Pizza.
Pizza Hut pizza? What kind do you have?
The thin crispy with pepperoni, green peppers, and onions.
And then we got a pepperoni lovers and half cheese, half Canadian bacon and pineapple. Friday night is usually pizza night or some kind of takeout. Craig's always happiest when it's pizza. What are you watching on your
Eureka's Castle.
one of your favorites? How's your pizza taste?
Good. All right.
Okay.
Let's get it on.
Okay, sit down, Craig. Can you tell us about what we're trying tonight, Craig?
We are tasting new popcorn.
Okay. You hold up the first bag you're going to try.
The first one is gonna be cheddar.
And it's...
By Lil Baby.
Do you know any songs by Lil Baby?
No.
Me either.
Here goes.
I found these at a gas station in Emmitsburg.
It's like sweet, kind of. Oh, it's like salt and vinegar, barbecue, onion, garlic, cayenne pepper, and more.
Wow.
Or is that all the flavors? No, I don't know. I think that's all that's in this one.
What do you think, Craig?
Definitely not just cheddar.
Yeah, it looks like that's what's in it.
It's pretty good.
What
It
do
is pretty good.
You like it, Craig?
Yeah, it tastes not bad.
What do you taste? What does it taste like to you?
Cheddar.
I think I taste the salt and vinegar a lot. And then Craig eats it.
All right, should we try the next one, Craig?
Save your appetite for the other ones.
Okay.
Okay, let's read off this one.
Nicki Minaj.
Minaj.
Barbecue Queen. With my honey truffle.
Do you know any songs Nicki Minaj
No.
sings? No. What about you, Stephanie?
Yeah.
What's a popular song that she sang that I might
I
know?
don't know.
Because she sounds familiar.
I don't know. I'd have to look it up. I can't think of them off the top of my head. I'm not good at that. She sings I Like It Like That.
I think I've heard of that one. What do you think, Craig?
Barbecue.
Barbecue with honey truffle? Is that what it is?
Reminds me of barbecue potato chips.
Do you taste any truffle?
I don't know what truffle tastes like. Maybe.
Let me see. Kind of do.
Now I gotta Google Nicki Minaj songs.
I kind of get it. It's a little different than regular barbecue. I think Greg likes this.
She sings Star
Cheddar pepper.
Chips. You have to know that one.
Can you sing a little for me?
No.
Whoa. I can really taste the vinegar in that cheddar one.
Yeah, so okay. I'm glad.
That's really, that's, I can't believe Craig didn't comment on that. I get more of a salt and vinegar than any other taste.
Okay.
Mingo's white cheddar with a dab of ranch.
Just a dab of ranch.
Isn't this? Can you dab, Craig? Do you know how to dab?
No.
You're like, I think it's like this.
Short.
Like this. Can you do that? There you go. Might be the first time in my life I've ever dabbed.
So she says. What do you think, Craig? What do you taste?
Ranchy.
Is it ranchy
It's
or
not super
cheddary?
ranchy. It's definitely just a dab.
Which one do you like the best, Craig?
Me too.
Really? With all that salt? I didn't figure you to like the salt and vinegar taste. I like salt and vinegar, and so does Craig.
It's the most flavor. This was my least favorite.
And ranch is usually your thing. It must not taste much like ranch at all.
It's just
I don't ever like white cheddar that much. It's not. It kind of has this sour cream and onion flavor to me. They're interesting flavors, though. I like that they are definitely different than any other flavors that I've had before. They definitely mixed it up some. So, Craig, what kind of a review do you give these Rapstar popcorns?
2 thumbs up.
All right. Now we have one more thing that we need to try that I bought when we were at the Orlando airport, and I keep forgetting to have us try it. Hold on. Wonder Made S'more Marshmallows. I've seen, I don't know if it's the same brand, but they have something similar in Disney Springs, and this little box was $10, I believe. So they're not cheap. Yeah, they better be delicious. It's time to taste these marshmallows. I guess I should show you what they look like.
Here they come.
Cheers.
Yeah.
That's not a face that says I love it, which is surprising because I thought Craig would love it. But
Yeah, it tastes like marshmallows.
do you like it?
Yeah, not bad.
Does it taste like s'mores at all?
Yeah, it tastes like s'mores.
What do you think, Stephanie?
I don't love it. I probably would need another one.
Yeah, these were not worth $10.
No.
That's a weird flavor.
It's very fake s'more-y. It doesn't fit. I don't know.
Well, even
It
the
tastes like a
chocolate.
marshmallow to me, kind of.
To me, the chocolate doesn't even taste like chocolate. No, that is weird. I'm going to give them to Bennett. He'll eat it. He hates everything. Actually, he doesn't hate everything anymore. So I have a question for you guys. Can we talk about Veggie Tales?
No. Yeah. This is how God made you special, and He loves you very much.
Who's your
Bob the Tomato and Larry the Cucumber.
Who's your favorite one on Veggie Tales?
Larry the Cucumber. He sings silly songs.
Can you sing me one of the silly songs?
Everybody's got a water buffalo. Yours is fast, but mine is slow.
That's good. Do you remember when you, Stephanie, and Bennett were little and we used to play the Veggie Tales CD in the van?
Mm-hmm.
And we were going to garage sales?
Yep.
We listen to the pirates that don't do anything.
Yep.
And Bennett got really mad if we'd sing his part.
Yes. He says he doesn't remember it.
I remember it vividly.
We all remember it well. And the time you guys got in a fight over it and I threatened to throw it out the window.
I still get
What?
the bunny song stuck in my head.
What? Throw it away.
You guys were all fighting over who was singing what part on the Veggie Tales CD, and I threatened to throw it out the car window. But I didn't. You guys don't know what to do when I get upset, so you were all in shock.
Remember the bunny song?
Yeah. The bunny. Bunny. Ooh, I love the bunny.
I'd like to hear the pirates who don't do anything.
I think he's ignoring you.
We are the pirates who don't do anything. We'll just stay home and fly around. And if you ask us to do anything, we'll just tell you we don't do anything.
Oh, I thought that was going to be your part. Oh, Craig likes it. All right.
Good job, little baby.
What's your favorite episode of Veggie Tales?
Where's God when I'm scared?
What year did Veggie Tales come out?
1993.
Do you know who does the voices?
No.
No.
Remember when you used to watch it in the church basement
Oh, yeah.
during church?
Mm-hmm.
Stephanie and Bennett got out of church so they could go down and take care of you.
Take care.
Do you have any other memories to share tonight, Craig?
No.
No. What's your favorite memory of Stephanie?
Going out to eat.
Going out to eat.
What's your least favorite memory of me?
No.
You don't want to say it? No. Okay.
Do you have one?
Forced me to do apples and bananas.
You forced him to sing the apples and bananas song?
I don't remember it. Probably.
Probably.
Sounds like something
You
I
made
did.
Craig do everything.
Yeah, I'll get you a milk in just a second.
All right. Should we wrap up this section, Craig?
You want to try
Yeah.
this, Livy?
All right.
And this is Craig and saying, I'll see you when I read my book.
Let's try the marshmallow now.
You can try it. It's chocolate.
Mom, I only like a banana one.
Oh, she wanted a banana moon pie.
Oh, I'm sorry. We don't have a banana moon pie. Next time I go to Bass Pro Shop, I'll buy you a banana moon pie. I saw moon pies at Dollartree this week, but they were just the vanilla ones.
You want to try that?
I don't have one. I have a chocolate moon pie. Do you want to try a chocolate moon pie?
But that's not like chocolate moon pies.
You don't.
Say it.
Where the wild things are. The night Max wore his wolf suit and made mischief of one kind and another. His mother called him Wild Thing, and Max said, I'll eat you up. And he was sent to bed without eating anything. That very night, in Max's room, a forest grew and grew and grew until his ceiling hung with vines and the walls became the world all round. And an ocean tumbled by with a private boat for Max. He sailed out through night and day, and in and out of weeks, and almost over a year, to where the wild things are. And when he came to the place where the wild things are, they roared their terrible roars, and gnashed their terrible teeth, and rolled their terrible eyes, and showed their terrible claws. Till Max said, Be still, and tamed them with the magic trick of staring into all their yellow eyes without blinking once. And they were frightened, and called him the most wild thing of all, and made him king of all wild things. And now, cried Max, let the wild rumpus start. Now stop, Max said, and sent the wild things off to bed without their supper. And the Max, the king of all wild things, was lonely and wanted to be where someone loved him best of all. Then all around from far away across the world, he smelled good things to eat. So he gave up being king of where the wild things are. But the wild things cried, Oh, please don't go. We'll eat you up. We love you so. And Max said, No. The wild things roared their terrible roars, and gnashed their terrible teeth, and rolled their terrible eyes, and showed their terrible claws. But Max stepped into his private boat and waved goodbye. He sailed back over a year, and in and out of weeks, and through a day, and into the night of his very own room, where he found his supper waiting for him. And it was still hot. And this is Craigie Vanver saying, keep on having a great day, and we'll see you tomorrow